What's going on YouTube? Joe Miner 3131 with JS Miner 87 back again on the DFS Quarry channel here to break down the 4-game main slate for Monday, November 12th, 2018. Jared, how you doing tonight?
Doing real well here. It's nice to get some Flames next year lineups here tonight. So overall, not a bad day on the DFS side, and certainly can't ever complain to have a relaxing Sunday.
Yeah, I hear you there, man. All in all, not too bad for me. Need some things to break well here in the late games, but we'll see what happens. Let's jump right into it. Oh, before we get started, if you liked the video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're a first-time watcher. Even if you're coming back for a second or third time, go ahead and click that subscribe button. We normally put out a video every night for every main slate, so come check us out. You could follow us over on Twitter, JoeMiner3131, JSMiner87, and you can follow the channel at DFS Quarry. To jump right into it, Jared, first game up, Vancouver at New York Rangers. The Rangers are a home -140 favorite. Got an over-under of 6, and they seem projected, nothing updated recently, but Markstrom and Lundqvist. What do you like here?
Yeah, I'm like you here. I haven't seen. I looked at left wing lock, and there's no updated goalie starts, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. But I tell you what, the Rangers have been playing pretty solid hockey as of late. Georgiev coming off a big win there the other night. I think it was a shootout win, if I recall correctly. But this team's playing pretty well. They are 5-3 at home. They over the course of the year they've averaged only 2.8, but that was that sluggish start, if you recall. We weren't on the New York Rangers for a good part of the year. Not to say we're fully on board with the Rangers, but they have impressed a little bit over the past 3 to 5 games here. Vancouver on the road is 5-4, and pretty much Vancouver is living off of Patterson's contributions here, and both teams average around high 20s in shots while giving up mid-30s. So it's a pretty even balance, pretty even match game here. Where I'm looking to go here, I like a pairing in this game, not much more than a pairing. Special team-wise, I don't think I want involved there. If I want lines, I think I'm going to go either the Buchnevich and Mika Zibanejad combo there, or even I'd say I don't even think it's a second line here. I like this third line, Jimmy Vesey and Jesper Fast, more so than Brett Howden even. They have the potential to score goals here, and against such an even match team, I think they could be involved in the scoring here. Neil Pionk, defensively, still a great call, still worth a look. I still always don't mind this Anthony D'Angelo on the first defensive line. He's up to 4,500, so DraftKings is almost drawing me away from him. Kevin Shattenkirk at 4,100. He did have his first goal of the year the other night, so we're going to have to keep an eye on him. I think it's still early to play him, but hopefully maybe that builds a little bit of confidence there. Like I said, looks like their power play had 1 goal in the past 5 on this first line with Pionk and Zibanejad. And the second power play has actually been a little bit better, which with, Kevin Hayes getting involved with Kevin Shattenkirk as well and D'Angelo. But mainly for me, like I said, I only like pairings. Lundqvist here, I think Lundqvist is in play, actually. He's starting to, I think we can almost call him in the same category as Bobrovsky. With turning it around and expecting games like we've seen in the past in the highlight of his career. Vancouver, like I said, I don't have much interest. Maybe keep an eye on Louis Eriksson. He's actually come up to the first line with Bo Horvat. that's some solid production them guys have had together. Elias Pettersson at 7,600 on 4-game slate. I think you can take a look there. If you do, run Jake Virtanen. Jake Virtanen's at 4,700 has had goals. I want to say he's had goals in 2 of the past 3 games or so, but I swear I look at his phone and I look at my phone and it's he's always scoring goals, it seems, the past few days. So he's in play. Third line, fourth line, I don't like any of that. That's just kind of like a luck of the lottery if any of those guys hit. Good Branson defensively. I like where he stands tomorrow in this small slate at 4,200. Ben Hutton, perhaps you could take a chance on him. 4 points in the past 5 games at 4,600 as well. I'm staying, like I said, I'm staying line combos there, so pair them up how you will. I wouldn't go much more than a 2-person pair on this game in particular. And Markstrom, I just don't have any interest in Markstrom on this because I don't. And game scripting, I don't see the Rangers winning, or I don't see the Vancouver Canucks winning this one tomorrow. So I'm not going to play Markstrom.
We're on the opposite sides of this one completely. I like Vancouver in this one, actually. I'll start there. I do like the pairing, like you did mention, of Horvat and Eriksson, but I really like Pettersson, man. This kid's playing out of his mind, getting plenty of ice time, producing while he's out there, and I like pairing him with Virtanen. But I also don't mind taking a shot with Goldman either. If I wanted to run that full 3, man, I don't have a problem with that. But for the top line, it would just be the pairing of Horvat and Eriksson. And I do see myself playing Vancouver tomorrow. Defensively, I mean, you mentioned Goodbranson, maybe Pouliot. I play Stetcher. I like his price, man, at 2,900. I don't know. I'll let Bill dictate that, I guess. I'd rather play the guys with more ice time, though, with Goodbranson and Pouliot for certain. So, and I don't want Markstrom. But I do like Vancouver. As far as Rangers go, if you do play them, I don't think that I will. But you know, I'll look at them a little more. I don't know what it is. I'm not a Rangers fan. I just have a hard time playing them. For me with the Rangers, I think it's Kreider and Hayes. It's probably where I dictate my lineups towards that, I guess. Maybe a shot on Jimmy Vesey as a one-off if I got that much left, and you know what I mean. I wouldn't mind that. Defensively, D'Angelo's getting a ton of ice time at 4,500. That wouldn't be a bad shot. Pionk, I like him. I do like Pionk. Pionk. Shattenkirk, you could play either one of those two. I wouldn't mind either one of them. But as far as, I don't think I want to play Lundqvist. I'm not saying that he's not in play, but I don't want to play him. So I'm going to try not to play him. I want to play the Vancouver side on this. Actually, I want to possibly look towards maybe a game stack of this. We'll see. Anything else on this, or you want to move on?
Yeah, what do you think there on Vancouver then? You're going to stay away from power play, or?
I do, actually, because yeah, I do. I think I just rather the pairings off each line. I don't think I want to full stack the lines, and if I did, it'd be the second line. I like the pairings more, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've kind of noticed myself, to be honest with you, over the past little bit, as I'm paying attention to what I'm doing here, when I play like a late slate or one of these smaller slates, I seem to pair more than full stack. You know what I mean? It's like I'm trying to get a piece of every game and trying to play who I think the best goalie is going to be for the win.
Yeah, and then it's a kind of a safer play that way, on such a small slate. And
yeah, I play lighter anyway. You know what I mean? I won't. Tomorrow I'll play probably one lineup, possibly two, but that would be at the most for me. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when you look at it, it's hard to play people you don't like, man. I mean, if you're forcing these plays, do you really want to force these plays? I tend to kind of fade away from forcing it. You know what I mean? So that's just me though. So you know what I mean? You play anybody, honestly. I mean, it's variance. This is hockey. Any of the guys on the ice can score, man. I mean, ultimately, in the end, whether they're $2,900 or they're $7,900, it doesn't matter. Either one of them can score. What you're paying for is the odds of them scoring. Who has the more likely chance of scoring that night? You know what I mean? Like, is it Ovechkin or are you playing Orlov? You know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of a decision, period. Either one can score, but more likely than not, it's Ovechkin, So, in a small game like this, small slate like this, like it's so small you almost want to take a part in every single one. You want to play every player, but the truth is, if you play every player, you're not making no money anyway. You're going to break even. So all you're doing is watching green in your lineup. You're thinking you're doing well, and ultimately it's going to break one way or the other. And when it does break one way or the other, a few of your lineups are going to completely collapse and a few of your lineups are going to completely climb. So therefore, unless you take, like in a GPP, unless you take, that top 2% spot, the profit margin is really nothing more than just playing double ups where you could play one lineup and be a lot safer with your plays anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's just contest selection and strategizing and taking a stand, I think, in small slates. So, that being said, next game, Chicago at Carolina. Hurricanes are a -150 home favorite, over under 6 in this game, and again, a 4-month projection, Crawford and Darling. What do you like here?
Well, one thing I noticed, wow, does this Carolina team shoot or what? I mean, it is finally, what we wanted to happen looking at this Carolina line, which makes me a little bit more happy there, is Foegele is off that second line and down to the fourth line. I think me and you both looking at that daily were like, play the pair, leave Foegele, play the pair, leave Foegele. And finally, I guess, maybe Carolina's head coach watched us a little bit on the DFS Quarry channel and figured out that's not the right play. And they're shooting a lot. And I think that's going to bode well for them tomorrow. I look for this to be more along the line of a 4-1 kind of game. It's asking a lot for Darling, but I'm okay with that. And that being said, it's hard to get on. Let me see here first. Yeah, this is another one where you're probably going line pairs as well, as opposed to looking at special teams. Both teams are really in the bottom tier of special teams in all aspects. So I'm going to look here and maybe Jordan Stahl, this is a chance for him to get a goal, pair him up with Justin Williams or Brock McGinn. I think it's now you also have to look at the left wing side on that second line as well. I mean, he's got 3 points in the past 5 games at 3,000. That's going to be in play in such a small slate. This first line, too, every one of these guys have a potential in the first line. If I'm doing the first line tomorrow, I'm probably going to – this is going to be a game that I can stack all three and wouldn't have a problem doing that. The Furland, Sebastian Aho, and Teuvo Teravainen. I like all three of those guys. Looking down deep in the roster here, because I do think you can get goals even in deep wise. Andrei Svechnikov, I fortunately had him play the other night when he scored a goal, so I was quite happy. Price tag, I think, is a little more at 4,400 tomorrow, but he's in play, and he's got some floor of, what is that, 5 games? He gets 3 shots a game in this past 5 on average. That's okay. Lucas Wallmark at 3,200. He's got 4 assists, 19 shots, 2 blocks, with 2 power play points the past 5 games. He's in play as well on a small slate, and actually would probably fit well in your lineup as well. If you did want to take the chance. I always don't rule out. I mean, as much as I say I don't prefer to go the power play, for you guys, I mean, 2 power play points in 5 games, that's some production there. And, you might see different. He is, even though he's a third-line center, he is on that first power play unit there. So I don't want to deter you. It's a potential play. This is our first look. So Dougie Hamilton, 5,900. I don't think I'm playing him. I think I'm sold for the next little bit of playing Jakob Slavin or Justin Falk on the defensive side here. If you don't want to spend too much and you're looking for savings on the defensive side, Calvin DeHaan at 3,000. There's some value in him as well. I wish he got some more ice time from a defensive standpoint, but if he's involved in scoring, so be it. From the Chicago side, I don't like anyone else except for maybe running Alex DeBrincat or Patrick Kane as a one-off. I don't like any other person. Let me look down here at the defense, see if someone stands out. Nah, Brent Seabrook's a little bit too much at 5,700. I don't like that. No. And Scott Darling is in play for the win if you believe he is going to win. That's my stance. I think this is going to be a blowout win, which is why I really only want to play one player from Chicago if I were to play him. So, yeah, that's where I stand on this one. And my God, though, in a GPP play, I don't think you can ignore taking Crawford in this. He's 0-4 at 3.86 in the past 5. But this Carolina team shoots and shoots often. So he might, he might, if he does come out and surprise you, which we've seen it again tonight with Arizona beating the Capitals 3-1. So if you're playing a GPP play looking for a little bit of, risk-taking and chance per se, I think Crawford's in play.
Yeah, I'm on the Carolina side of this for certainly. But I like that call with Crawford too. Sure. He's going to win eventually, and why not in Carolina against Carolina? I don't see am I going to do that? No. But, I mean, it could happen. Again, that's variance. But I think that if you think Crawford is going to win, that means they got to score goals, period. So, if you're going to play Crawford, I think you play DeBrincat with Taves or Anisimov with Patrick Kane as a pairing, something like that, and pair him up with Crawford. Why not? And just run that little bit, the goalie and 2 forward, 3-man it. Yeah, defensively, nothing really. I mean, if I'm going to play anybody, it'd be Gustafsson at 4K, but that would be it. But I'm not going to play Chicago, so I might just pull a one-off to run it back against the Carolina stack. I do like Carolina in this one. And I do think Scott Darling's in play. So, Carolina, for me, it's the top line, certainly. Ferland, Oho, and Teravainen. Priced fairly enough that you can fit him in, even on a 4 game. They may draw some ownership here, but I don't think this is where the ownership's going to go. I think the ownership's going to go to that last game. Surprisingly, even on a late slate, being a late night hammer, I still think that's where people are going to go. Off the second line, it would just be Stahl and Williams for me, no McGinn. I mean, if you want to take a shot on him, I can't argue it at 3K, but I just don't, even on 4 game, I don't think I'm going to have to go there. So it's the top 2 lines minus McGinn for me. Defensively, no. Justin Falk, Slavin. I don't want no Hamilton. I agree with you. I mean, he's shooting the hell out of it, but 5,900 until he shows like some consistent production, I'm gonna stay away. So, no. And like I said, I took a chance on Darling. I think he's a good goalie. He's just working his way back into it here, and I think he'll be fine. That's all I got there, man. Next game.
Yes, sir. Let's move on.
Columbus Blue Jackets heading into Dallas to take on the Dallas Stars. The Blue Jackets are a -105 visiting favorite. We got an over-under 6 in this game. Again, long ago projection. Bobrovsky and Bishop. What do you like here, man?
Well, for me, it's the second line of Columbus here. They shoot a lot between the 3 of them at that price tag. I wouldn't mind doing a three stack on this one here. It's Foligno, Jenner, excuse me, and Josh Anderson. Looking at the past 3 games alone, they've attempted 53 shots and 40 have, went unblocked. So that creates a floor for you, a pretty nice floor at that price tag. All have shown production. If you don't even want to, maybe you don't want to take Jenner and want just Anderson Foligno, that would be perfectly fine. Don't ignore this first line. If I'm going to do the first line at all, I'm probably just doing the pair, Pierre-Luc Dubois and Artemi Panarin. I'm leaving out Bjorkstrand. Turns out the reason that Bjorkstrand is up there in the first place is just because Cam Atkinson has an illness, I think it was an illness. So don't look for him to stay up there on that first line. So that alone might hurt chemistry. So I'm going to stick with Luc Dubois or Artemi Panarin if I'm going on that first line. That third line, I don't have interest either. Fourth line, definitely not. Dubinsky, they are still bringing him back slowly. I was reading an article like, why isn't he higher than fourth line? Due to the severity of his injury, they wanted to keep, ease him into the game. So he's not getting ice time very much at all. I think, looking at the stats, they say 14 minutes of ice time. It might even be a little less than that. But Seth Jones, love playing him. I usually play him each time. I'm going to go with a Columbus stack at 6,400. It's high price, but this guy, 6 assists, 12 shots, 12 blocks in the past 5. He's in play for certain. Zach Werenski at 4,800, just because of who he is and his potential. At 4,800 is not a bad price either there. I'm kind of fading slowly on Marcus Nudivara. I did have him the one time he did score a goal. David Savard, I don't have interest in him. Bobrovsky, I do have interest in him if he is the starter tomorrow, which I think he will be. That one I'm pretty sure is a lock because Korpisalo played and lost the other night, even though it might not say lock yet. Mitch, I'm glad you're watching, buddy, because they're doing it to us again. The line stats showed Devin Shore, Tyler Seguin, and Valery Nishushkin on the first line. I don't know. I mean, Devin Shore had a goal the other night, but I don't think it was on that first line. That being said, I think they're destined to lose tomorrow. Jason Spezza on that second line with Jamie Benn. That's the combo I would pair. I've never even heard of Dennis Gurianov. Maybe Mitch can, tweet in the chat if he knows anything about him, but I don't know nothing about the dude. If I like anything, really, it's his third line, maybe a one-off and Radek Faxa. I like where he stands, and he does get some production as a one-off play. Interesting. Where is he injured? Holy moly! No wonder what happened to that Dallas team. The whole Dallas team is injured. Turns out when you scroll down to the injuries, John Klingberg injured, Connor Carrick injured, Martin Hansel injured, Alexander Radulov injured. Yeah, this team. Wow, this is interesting. Yeah, I don't like where they stand tomorrow against Columbus. If anything, it's doing a pair, and maybe you even just do the high dollar pair of Sagan and Ben and take that chance. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest and say I think it's a Columbus in like a 4-2.
I don't know, man. I can't really. I don't know. I guess you could take a shot on the bread man. I prefer the second line from Columbus, Foligno, Jenner, and Anderson. I can't really see me playing much of them. I don't mind the shot on Winberg and Duclair. Big GPP. You could play them as a pairing off that third line, but I'm not going to do that. But you could do that. Seth Jones, man. If you're going to play Columbus, you got to put him in. Period. He's active on both ends of the ice all the way around. Great player, getting tons of ice time. A little over 27 minutes a game. Got to play him. So if you're going to play Columbus, Seth Jones, you must play. Werenski, yeah, he's okay yet at 4,800. Rather see him down around like 41 though, personally. But you could take a shot on him. Bobrovsky, well, I mean, with the decimated Dallas Stars, I guess you got to keep him in play here. For now, I'm gonna try not to play him. I think I'd rather play Scott Darling over Bobrovsky, to be honest. So, 4,100. Devin Shore's got 2 goals in the last 5 games on 7 shots with 5 blocks. 4,100. With everybody being hurt, I mean, his ice time should be up. You could play him. I don't see why not. Tyler Seguin, 7,200. I mean, he's going to be a stud. So Jamie Benn, he's going to be a stud. They're both playable. Jason Spezza, oh hell yeah, dude. Been active over the last 5, definitely. At 4K, yeah, why not, man? I mean, it's look, it's not like even if Dallas loses, Dallas is not going to get shut out, man. Not at home, right? Like I can't see that happening. So even on a game script, if I'm going to play the Columbus side of it, I'm looking at a 3-2 game. I think I'm looking at a 3-2 game on either side. No matter which way I go, which way I lean. So, you know, I mean, I'm not really seeing high scoring games on the slate either. So, it'd be a pairing, I guess, for me. Let me see. Are they on the same power play? Yeah. I mean, you could run Ben, Seguin, and Spezza all. Even Devin Shore. Miro Heiskanen. I like him a lot. That kid is amazing. He is a great defenseman, great young defenseman. He's going to be good for years to come, I'm telling you. Getting tons of ice time. I like this kid. Heiskanen, if you're going to play Dallas, try to get him in there for certain too. And obviously, Lindell is going to be doing more with Klingberg being out. So at 4,400, expect more from Lindell and expect more from Heiskanen. I see they move Honka up there and paired him up with Lindell, but I don't look for that to be like that throughout the entire game. I look for Heiskanen and Lindell to both be on the ice a ton in this game. And Bishop, I mean, I've not been playing him, but again, like, I mean, what are we looking at here? You can look at the slate immediately and say that Bishop is better than some players, some goalies on the slate, and in a better spot than some goalies on the slate. So it's a pretty much pick 'em game anyway, man. So it depends on what side you're going to play. If you're going to end up playing the Dallas side, play Bishop. If you're going to be if you're going to play the Columbus side, take a shot on Bobrovsky. But that's all I can tell you to do. That's a tough game. That's a tough game for me, man. I'm going to try not to play him. So, anything else here?
No, sir. And yeah, Mitch brought up a good point in the chat there. Yeah, I remember playing Alexander Radulov so much in the beginning of the year. You know, we were hitting on him with money lines left and right. And since he's been down, yeah, you could probably see the drop in goals per game.
Well, yeah, it's just because, you know, everybody's defending one side of the ice, right? You know what I mean? It's one less scorer to worry about throughout the process of the game. That's all. You know what I mean? Talented scorer anyway. Like, Dallas is hurting, man. They're hurting right now. That's all there's to it. Period. I mean, it's a rough spot. Hope they get their guys back. Get Klingberg back. I love playing Klingberg, man. Next game, and this is where I think the chalk is going to be. Nashville Predators heading into Anaheim to take on the Ducks. Nashville is a -153 visiting favorite. We have a 5.5 over/under in this game and projected Rene and Gibson. What do you like here?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll be on the other side of the chalk on this one because I think while people are going to be taking that first and second line for Nashville, I'm dropping down to that third line, which has been playing incredible. Kevin Fiala, wrong line. Ryan Hartman, Nick Bonino, Colton Sissons. This line is on fire lately, and I think that's a great price tag to pay for those guys. I mean, you look at this, 5 points in 5 games, 13 shots for Ryan Hartman, 4 assists, 12 shots, 5 blocks for Nick Bonino, 3 goals, 13 shots, 4 blocks for Colton Sissons. I know Colton Sissons only had a hat trick the other day, but this line's on fire. And against an Anaheim team that's reeling, I mean, they were even talking, I think, about the possibility of Joel Kenneville heading over to Anaheim and Anaheim firing their coach. I don't know if they're going to go to that extent yet, but I like that third line to play that as a low-owned potential pair there. Looking at it otherwise, man, aside from that, I think, I'm going to go defensively here. Roman Josi, guaranteed lock, 6,200, 3 goals, 4 assists, 20 shots, 2 blocks. He's in play. Let's see, you keep going down. Now, I don't like where Subban is. Maybe Matthias Ekholm at 4,700, not a bad play there. Other than that, you won't find me playing this first line, second line, just because of my historic success with Nashville. I play Forsberg, he does nothing. Or it's Arvidsson that scores, and I get nothing. So it would be that third line for me. And then looking at the Anaheim side, the only interest I have in Anaheim completely would be You play one person and one person only, and that's Cam Fowler on the defensive side at 5,400. Dude's got 3 goals, 2 assists, 11 shots, 6 blocks in the past 5 games. That'd be your only potential play. I don't like playing the goalies here on the Anaheim side either. And I think for sure you have a chalk win, 3 points in Rene. You look at away team right now, folks. Nashville, 8-0-0 on the road this year. Insane numbers.
I'm with you pretty much all the way around. Only I would have to say if I'm going to play some cash games, which I'm going to play some cash games, I want to get up here and get these top guys too. Hell with it. If they sink or crash and burn, I'll just fall with everybody else. But I do like that third line call with you, man. That's nice. Never really dived down there as far as a third line stack pairing like that myself. I do take them as one-offs once in a while, but maybe I'll take a look at that in a GPP. That's kind of interesting. I'm with you on Yossi. Absolute must play if you're playing Nashville. 6,200, I get it, but lock him in, dude. He's just crushing right now. The points are outstanding. Ryan Ellis at 4,500. I wouldn't mind going there if you didn't have the cash to get Yossi. But I think Yossi's a great play, and I'm with you on Rene all day, man. I mean, he's your goalie tomorrow. And all numbers point to that. And like, you know, if you play based off numbers, which I do, Rene's my goalie. Certainly for cash games. Anaheim side, I really don't have any kind of interest. If you want to play Anaheim, it's fine to go ahead and take a look at Raquel and Getzlaf. Maybe take a look at Kessler, Silverberg. Yeah, that would be it. I'm not going to do it, though. Just being totally honest, I'm not going to play these guys at all. Cam Fowler, he'd be your best bet over here to honestly run it back with. So you plan on stacking up anybody with Nashville and you're looking for a run back against it, unless you're playing Rene. I wouldn't play anybody at all if you're playing Rene from Anaheim. But Cam Fowler is very, very, very interesting. And I don't want anybody in the net at all. Period. So, with that being said, that's the slate, man. What do you want to just jump into the game here?
Yes, sir. Let's just jump right into it.
Diamond stack. What do you got?
I got the second line of Columbus, the Nick Foligno, Boone Jenner, Josh Anderson line for tomorrow.
That's a good call. And since you are going to take that line, I'm going to go ahead and jump down and take the Carolina second line with Jordan Stahl, Justin Williams, and I'm going to take, I got to take him again with him. Second line, Carolina. Snowflake.
I tell you, I like McGinn better than Fogley, though.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I never played Fogley. Never.
I don't think we ever seen points beside Fogley. At least the guy said 1 goal, 2 assists.
Yeah. Fogley is just, I don't know. He needs to get his game back or something. I don't know.
Snowflake here. I'm looking at this first line, Chicago. Alex DeBrincat, Jonathan Toews, and Dominic Calhoun.
Yeah, that's certainly a good call. I guess I'll just take the chalk one. Give me first line Anaheim for Snowflake. Go ahead, I'll give you the Boulder Award.
We're not going to have the same Boulder Award.
Go ahead.
I am going with my boy Henrik Lundqvist, shutting out the Vancouver Canucks.
You're crazy. No way.
You're going Pekka Rinne.
Obviously, but there's no way. Yeah, I'm taking Rinne, but there's no way that you honestly think, right? Seriously, there's no way you honestly think that Lundqvist has a better shot at the Boulder Award than Rinne. No. You think that?
I mean, I just like the way the Rangers have played as of late. I don't think there's going to be a Boulder Award, but guess what? I thought, what did I think Holtby today? This league has been wonky as all get out, it seems like this year. Either that or we're just paying way more attention this year than ever. Would you have called Casey DeSmith last night?
I played him, yeah.
You didn't call him for Boulder.
I wasn't on the video, man. You did a solo. I played Casey DeSmith, I swear to you. Why wouldn't you? Casey DeSmith is playing great.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he looked great in that.
You know what I mean? Like, it was actually a relief seeing a goalie wearing a Pens jersey stopping shots, man. We haven't seen that in a while. Yeah, I mean, Murray was just like I don't know. Murray was like an open window in front of the net. He sure as hell wasn't no brick wall. But whatever. My quick overview of the slate is this. Obviously, you and I are quite different on the Vancouver-New York Rangers game. I'm more on the Vancouver side of that. I just think that these young cats are playing, and they're playing well, and everybody's doubting them. So as long as people keep doubting them, I think they're going to keep playing. So I'm on that side of that. I like Carolina, definitely. Got interest in Darling. So I'll keep him on my list. Markstrom and Lundqvist are off for me. Crawford is off for me. Darling is on. Bobrovsky and Bishop are both off for me. And Rinne is on. Gibson is off. So I'm down to Darling and Rinne. Just like that. As far as offenses go, it's definitely more Carolina and Nashville than anything. Until I figure out what's going on with that Columbus-Dallas game. I'm not quite certain about that. And I definitely think for almost a guarantee I'm going to play Pettersson from Vancouver. So, what do you got?
I got me playing a heavy Rangers lineup in one line. I liked you in a split on the Carolina-Columbus side. I definitely have interest in at least doing the Roman Josi / Pekka Rinne pairing, and then working off that maybe. I don't want to do the third line and the Josi in one. Perhaps I might want to, like we said with this small slate, I don't know if you want to get too heavy unless you're 100% certain. The only thing that makes me a little uncertain to play a full Nashville is John Gibson. I mean, he's a great goalie along with that Anaheim tough defense. You could see it going 2-0 Nashville and not be a very high productive points game. So that would work out for Rinne perhaps, but it wouldn't work out for that stack. Otherwise, not an interesting slate personally. Like you said, you might get 2 to 3 lineups in tomorrow. That'll be about it. All you want to do. Yeah,
I'd play light. That's what I'm recommending. I'd play light. I'm gonna play light. Recommend everybody else do the same unless you're certain, man. And if you're that certain, man, definitely let us know what it is that you're that certain on, because we appreciate the help too, man. Because it's just it's a weird slate all the way around. It's not. I mean, it's Rinne for me as a surefire lock for the win, right? Only goalie on the slate's a surefire.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, with that being said, guys, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you like the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at JoeMiner3131, at JSMiner87, and follow the channel at DFS Quarry. Hope you enjoyed everything. Good luck to everybody out there. Hope you all do well. We'll see you next time. We're out.